I have to say that I'm the manager of the biggest club.
The start of the brand new Premier League season is still a week away, but before that, it's the annual curtain raiser, the FA Community Shield at Wembley. United face champions Leicester City with the first piece of silverware on offer for Jose Mourinho as a brand new era begins at Manchester United. Let's find out what our new boss has to say as he faces the media.
Good afternoon, Jose.
Hi.
Jose, lots obviously been spoken about ahead of not just this weekend but the season as a whole. Could you clear up the situation with Bastian Schweinsteiger and what's actually happening with him?
What is happening? Is happening what is happening in every club in the world, which is the manager decides his squad and choose a certain number of players to face the season, and that's it. And I normally like to work with 20 players plus the 3 goalkeepers, which is what I do for 15 years, because we have so many players, but at the same time because we have also so many competitions, and especially the Europa League competition is a competition that change a lot the profile of the season, because you can play 15 matches, you play on the Thursday, you have a big risk of travel a lot. Normally you are going to play the Premier League on the Sundays. So I made the decision to be with 23 players plus 3 goalkeepers, which I think is still a lot. And I had to make my decisions. It's simple.
So if he doesn't have a Manchester United future, but you say that you've got that squad, then your number is ready. Does that include then a big signing over the next few days that maybe we can expect?
Yes. Yes. We have 22 now, and we are going to have 23.
Jose, the name that's always mentioned is Paul Pogba. I know you don't like talking about other teams' players, but this situation has gone on for a long time. Are you confident that 23rd player is going to be him?
You are right. I don't like to speak about other clubs. I don't like to speak about players from other clubs. Other managers, they like to do that. They like to speak about my clubs. They like to speak about my players. I'm very pragmatic on this. The only thing that matters for me is what happened in my house, not in the house of my neighbors. And Pogba is a Juventus player until officially he isn't. So we stay like this. But honestly, the market closes on the 31st of August, but I think my club is trying to do everything to close our market before the 14th of August. So normally next week we will have our squad closed.
In terms of Sunday's game, is it important? Is it important to win a trophy? Is it important to see your players? Is it important to get fit? What is the aim of Sunday?
You are right. Everything is important. If we could choose everything is important. Our preseason was strange. Was a good preseason for some players, but for other players was not enough. The number of matches was not enough. The match we didn't play against Man City was really bad for us. The week of work that I can change and say the week of no work in China was really bad for us. So we need to train, we need to play, we need minutes for the players. We need to train against other teams like we did against Everton, like we did against Galatasaray. We need to train against other teams, but that is over. Now we have no chance to train against other teams. Now we have Leicester before the Premier League, and it's not a training session against another team, it's a game. And I think especially for the players that were involved in last season, I think for them must have a meaning, because to play the Community Shield you need to be champion or you need to win the FA Cup, and they won the FA Cup. So I think we have to face it as a game. Of course, we have 6 changes, not 3, we have 6. So that gives me the chance to give minutes to some people. It gives me the chance to play with some players that I know that they cannot play for 90 minutes because they have no condition to play for 90 minutes. So it will be a little bit of everything. But of course, we are going to try to win it.
A Jose Mourinho team plays a lot differently to a Louis van Gaal team. Are the players responding well to what you're trying to teach them, and is that going to take a bit of time for them to truly be what you want them to be?
Yeah, I think your words are very correct, because you say my teams are different than Mr. Van Gaal teams, and that's correct. I want to make it clear that I'm not saying that my teams are better, or my teams have better ideas, or my principles of play are better. Not at all. So your question was very, very correct. Yes, my teams are different than Mr. Van Gaal, and it's a difficult situation. It's a difficult situation to change dynamics. It would be easier for me to have 20 new players and to start from zero. For 2 years, they had some principles of play that are not my principles of play, clearly are not. But the players are players, and without losing their identity, they always try to adapt to what the manager wants. And of course, after 2 it's difficult to change, but we are working hard, and the players are trying everything. And of course, we make mistakes, and of course, we are far from perfection. But the players, they are giving everything to try to adapt, and step by step, my team is going to be my team.
Which club do you think has had the best transfer window in the Premier League? Is it Manchester United?
I don't know. I only speak about us. Again, I heard already 2 of my colleagues from other Premier League clubs speaking about us. I have to confess that I don't like. I have to confess that it's not ethical. But there are things that when I do is not ethical, when others they don't do, nobody says that. Everything is normal. But the reality is that I don't speak about the others. They can do what they want. I think our market was good. We made decisions. We decided to bring 4 players, not 10. We decided to bring 4 that are Man United level. We decided to bring 4 that we think they can really improve the squad and not just be 1 more. And this is the profile of our market. We got a young central defender that needs time to be a top one, but he has top potential, and we believe a lot in him. We brought a creative player, a player that we know the quality he has. We brought a super striker, and we are going to get a very good midfield player. So we try to give balance. So I'm happy with my squad. I'm happy with the effort the club did and is still doing for us. And the others, is their problem. They can do what they want.
Jose Mourinho there speaking to the media ahead of our game with Leicester at Wembley at the weekend, and it was fantastic to see him in the hot seat there fielding those questions. Loads to go through with my studio guest here, Andy Ritchie. Let's just start by the question near the end of that. session, which was about the transfer window and which club has had the best. Obviously, we don't know if ours is concluded yet or not. But do you think we're in a strong position given the players that we've already brought in? Players Mourinho says improve the first team, not just the squad.
Yeah, I don't think you can quantify at all at the minute who's had the best. You know, I don't think we should be talking in those terms because you don't know how the players are going to integrate. You don't know how they're going to play in the Premier League, which is the hardest league I think to play in the world. So you've got all those factors to sort of think about. But I think he's, as the manager said there, he's very happy with what he's brought in. Hopefully, there's going to be one more addition. He's talked about the size of the squad, 23 plus 3 goalkeepers, and he's very happy with what he's done so far. Let's hope that last one will come in very soon. And it didn't really say that it was Pogba, did he? But everybody thinks it's going to be, and hopefully it's going to be done.
Yeah, he said he doesn't like to talk about players at other clubs. Of course, Pogba's still a Juventus player, but he's confident, Jose, that his squad will be complete by August 14th. The window is open until 31st. Jose doesn't want any transfer saga to rumble on until that date, so he wants to get his squad in shape and ready. You can see from these exclusive pictures that we're bringing you here on MUTV, the lads just playing a bit of head tennis. This kind of thing is a great bit of fun, isn't it, before the hard work starts? I mean, you've played this many a time on the training pitches at United, Oldham, wherever you've been.
Yeah, I've never lost a game, so.
Of course you didn't, Andy. But the players who are now integrating into that squad, the likes of Zlatan there and Mkhitaryan, they've had a few weeks now, haven't they? So they should be feeling quite at home here at the Aon Training Complex. Yeah,
and also they've had that sort of ill-fated trip a little bit, to China as well.
Mourinho briefly mentioned that, didn't he? It wasn't the best week of training.
But that's all about integration, getting to know your new players, your teammates, on and off the field. And Zlatan, I don't think needs any introducing to anybody. Maybe Henrik and Eric needed a little bit more of that in terms of the integration. But they're just seeing a new signing at the back there as well, and Luke Shaw. I mean, it's like having a new signing, isn't it? Because he's just been injury after injury for him, since he arrived from Southampton. So, one more big signing to come, hopefully, and he'll definitely want to win this game at the weekend because it's a confidence booster as well for the players. But I thought they gave a good performance against Barca.
Yeah, the press conference began with a question about Bastian Schweinsteiger. He's obviously not training with the first team there. Mourinho says he's got his squad and every manager has to make that decision. You choose which players you want to use. Anybody else, unfortunately, it's not their time. They might have to move on.
Well, I think that's what he's made his choice. He's as he said, he says, I'm doing what every manager does throughout the world. You make your squad and you pick your squad, and unfortunately it doesn't look as though Bastian's going to be in that squad, so it looks as though he'd probably be on his way at some stage. 2 players not spoken about in that press conference, but when Stuart Gardner sat down with Jose Mourinho for MUTV, these 2 were mentioned, Tim Fosu-Mensah and Chris Smalling. You can see the interview later on Countdown to Kickoff actually, but he said about those 2, they're back in training. Particularly with Chris, he hasn't had any pre-season minutes at the moment, so he needs some games before he's going to be ready. But those 2 players, Tim was a breath of fresh air when he came in, burst into the team, didn't he, last season, showed how good he is. And Chris Smalling, ever steady, one of the most consistent players of last season, so it'd be good to get those 2 back. Yeah, and I mean, we all know how Chris has improved as well since he's become a Manchester United player. It's been an upward spiral for him. Tim, as you say, has come in and been a revelation, really, and he looks so confident and assured. He'd play anywhere across the back, I believe, and obviously he could probably play that holding midfield role, and he's got a lot of strings to his bow. But I think trying to get them minutes is difficult now. Yeah. Will Chris maybe get a little bit of part of the Community Shield? Is it a bit too early for him? I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. But you could do without 2 integral parts of the squad in terms of defensive qualities, not having those minutes behind them when you're going into a tough season.
Yeah, thankfully we can use 6 subs, as Jose quite rightly pointed out, on the weekend. Not just 3, as the Premier League and all the other competitions, of course, have. OK, time for a short break now. Coming up, though, we'll hear the thoughts of Leicester City's Danny Simpson. So see you in a couple of minutes. Welcome back to Mourinho's press conference. Now, last season will always be remembered as the year that outsiders Leicester City won the league against staggering odds. Let's now hear from a man who helped guide them to that title and former Red, Danny Simpson.
A Community Shield clash with Manchester United at the weekend. First of all, what do you expect from that game?
No, it's going to be very tough. I know the season doesn't start till the week after, but for us it's a big game, and for them as well. Obviously, with Mourinho, it's his first game as well, so he'll be obviously wanting to win that and get some silverware. But now for us, it's a massive day, a big day for Leicester City.
Always special coming up against a former club as well, isn't it?
Yeah, I was actually just got sent a picture from someone's time hop. I was 9 years ago. I was involved for Man United then in the Charity Shield. So, but yeah, but a blast from the past there. But no, it's like I said, I always love playing against Man United, and there's a few of us who are the same. But now it's going to be a good day for everyone. Yeah.
What qualities do you think Leicester City have to show against Manchester United?
I think we just have to do what we do our last season and what we're about, and that's working hard. And every single one of us, we're a team. In pre-season, we've been getting there, and that's what the manager expects of us to be. Like I said, every single individual giving 100%, and that's the subs that come on as well. And as long as we do that, then he's happy with us, and then obviously we've got the quality to try and break them down.
Of course, want to get hands on that silverware, but how important do you think it is for the players to enjoy the occasion? Because obviously Leicester City are there on merit as well, of course, aren't they?
Yeah, exactly. We're the Premier League champions, and but it's another chance to at Wembley as well to get some silverware. I said it's Leicester City v Man United in the Charity Shield, and not many people would have said that last year. So no, we're all looking forward to it. Like I said, it's a great day out at Wembley for everyone, and hopefully we can make it even more special.
Is that the pinnacle, do you think, playing at Wembley Stadium? Because as a child growing up, watching your heroes play there as well, of course.
Yeah, it's a special place to play in, and hopefully to win there as well. It makes it even more special, and obviously against Manchester United. So no, I think there's a little buzz and everyone's raring to go. We've had a good pre-season. We're back here now at the training base, and everything's fully focused on Sunday.
Yeah, Danny Simpson there, who only had 8 appearances for Manchester United, came through the ranks and moved on, and is part of this Leicester squad now, Andy Ritchie, which has had the heart torn out of it in a way when Kante moved to Chelsea. But Vardy committed his long-term future to the Foxes. Riyad Mahrez is still there. They're 2 standout performers. They've brought in a few new signings as well, so the squad's still good, isn't it? Memphis Mendy is kind of a like-for-like replacement of Kante. The pacey Ahmed Musa they brought in, the Nigerian, he looks quality. How do you assess their squad?
Well, yes, listen, Kante was one of their star performers last year. Mahrez was as well. He's still there at the moment. There is speculation about him maybe leaving, but they're all action. They're all. They're going to be over you like a bad rash. They're not going to give you a minute's peace. You know what you're going to get from Vardy, and I think we know what we're going to get from Musa as well. The two of them, if they play together,
that goal they're going to be. Was superb,
they're going to be, an all-action pair that are not going to give any defence, any time on the ball. And I don't think that we're going to get anything different from Leicester. It's going to be all-out action, and you're going to be in a real tough game with them.
Yeah, Danny Simpson said there they've had a good pre-season. Results-wise, not the best. Neither were ours, really. But that doesn't really matter, does it? They have played the likes of PSG and Barcelona, teams you never know they could face in the Champions League. Now Leicester are in it, which is a superb story. It's not about the results, is it? Although you'd like to marry the two together, results and fitness levels, I guess.
Yeah, but, you know, PSG and Barcelona, would Leicester City have been thinking about that 2-3 years ago? Will we ever play against those two sides? And the answer would have been no. So it shows you how far they've came.
Yeah.
And it's absolutely a fairy tale. But this, I think, is the acid test for them. Second season, we've talked about players, and Harry Kane was one, wasn't he? About how he would perform in his second season. He's come through that and produced in a way. I know he didn't have a great Euros, but now this is what the question will be for Leicester. Can they produce the same level of performances again? Now they're a bit of a known quantity.
Yeah.
We'll have to wait and see. But no doubt, what I said before, they'll be tough and they'll be all action.
I mean, what's your hunch when you look at their season? Do you think they could challenge for Champions League spots again, or will they do well just to finish top half?
I think it'd be difficult for them. I think they were on a surfboard, yeah, like if you like to speak, last season, and they didn't fall off. They were very, very lucky with injuries. They didn't have many injuries at all, and you know that was a big part that played a big ace for them. So it's everything. It's throw the balls up and see again this season. But certainly you know what you're going to get from them.
Back to us then, and what do you think Jose will do in terms of starting lineup for the game against Leicester? We've seen a couple of changes to the Galatasaray starting lineup. Talks against Everton. Are we nearing kind of Jose's first choice team now?
I think he will. From experience, I would try to play as close to my starting 11 for the start of the season in my last pre-season game. I think whichever team he does put out to start off with in the Community Shield, I think we'll be close to that starting 11 in the Premiership.
And with the 6 changes he can make, we will get some players minutes too, right?
Definitely, and they need them.
Yeah, certainly do. Cannot wait for that game. It'll be fascinating to see how it goes for Jose Mourinho. But for this show, the Mourinho's press conference, that's it. Thanks to Andy for joining me today. And we will be back next week to hear the manager's thoughts ahead of the first league game away at Bournemouth. From all of us, it's bye for now and enjoy the game at the weekend.
Everything. I want to win matches, I want to play well. A manager should be open to adapt. I have to say that I'm the manager of the biggest club.